Welcome to Meares Show. I'm Mo.
Meares.
Week 9 is here because Week 8 had to go away.
You did not do well. You did not do well.
2-13 against the spread.
Now you know what it feels like.
I don't know how we still have a show. I mean, if this was not YouTube, I would be thrown off the show.
Yeah, well, I'm back within 3 games of you. It's now a contest.
But Rex Ryan still has a job, so apparently I still have a job. Let's get into the games. We're going to do a game apiece. We'll do the rest of them, and then we'll do some fantasy, which I made a little comeback in that this week.
You did.
All right, let's get it started. I'm going to take the big game of the week. I think the game of the week, Denver traveling to New England.
I heard on the radio this could be an AFC Championship preview.
Denver, a road favorite.
They are.
Favored by 3 at this point against New England.
It should be
Thinking with the betting, maybe that'll fluctuate a little bit by the time kickoff.
Well, before you get into your picks, let me just tell you, and maybe I can sway your opinion. Peyton Manning has only won at Foxborough or Gillette Stadium, whatever it's called, 2 times in his career. He's lost 10. He's only 7 wins, 14 losses against Tom Brady and the Patriots. So you just take that and you go with it now.
I'm going to go with 2-13 from last week. I don't think anybody's going to be paying any attention to what I say. I will say this, though. You gave me a stat earlier. Nobody's ever thrown for 300 yards in a sustained wind of over 20
miles an hour.
20 miles an hour.
In the last 10 years.
Oh, the last 10 years?
Well, they haven't.
That's me. Yeah, I guess we didn't have AccuWeather back then. All right, so here's the deal. Peyton Manning breaking a bunch of records last week. Let him be the first one to do it. I got to think that New England's going to be exposed by somebody. And if somebody's going to step up in this league and be the best team, it's got to be Denver. After last night with Dallas throwing a shoe.
They threw a shoe.
The Eagles losing to Arizona. Do you really think Arizona's one of the best teams?
Well, record-wise, they seem to be, but I don't think they are.
If New England wins this, you got to put them above Denver. Denver wins this, you got to put them above New England. I have to take Denver, and I'm going to take them to cover, and they'll probably win by 2.
All right, so I'm going to
make the right pick, and then I'll get another over.
I gave you the stats. I'm going to go with the trend here, which is Peyton Manning losing in Foxborough to the Patriots. Here's my other reasoning. I don't think Denver's going to go 15-1, and I think they're going to lose some games down the stretch. I got them going 13-3. This is one of the remaining 2 losses left on their schedule. I think this and then the Chargers game at the Chargers will be the 2 games they lose. So I'm going to take New England, and I will take the 3 points happily, and let's move on to my game.
Next game we're going to do is your game.
Yes.
Arizona traveling to Dallas.
Correct.
All of Arizona's games this year that have been big games, they've been the host.
Oh.
San Diego, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I don't know who they lost.
They lost to Denver at Denver.
Yeah, so there you go.
Dallas coming off not their best showing last night, although Tony Romo did get hurt. I said DeMarco Murray wouldn't rush for 100 yards. DeMarco Murray rushed for 100 yards. I guess he's just going to rush for 100 yards every game of the season.
I managed to win a fantasy game going against them. I have no idea.
I feel like if any team's going to be able to stop them from rushing for 100 yards, it could be Arizona. They have a pretty good rush defense. They held McCoy down last week. They made Foles turn the ball over. I think they can do the same thing to Romo, especially if he's hurt. I can't believe this could be an NFC Championship preview right now. We got the 2 best records in the NFC going at it. I'm going to go with Arizona on the road to cover the 3.5 and send Dallas to a 2nd consecutive loss, because this could be the time in the season where it all starts to unravel for Dallas.
Here's why I say it's not the time of the season. Brandon Whedon. He came in last night and 2 drives had 10 points. Apparently Tony Romo for the rest of the game created 7. When Brandon Whedon came in, it looked like the team that is the Dallas Cowboys took over, and somehow, some way, Washington couldn't figure out that you're going to give the ball to DeMarco Murray in some manner, or maybe Des Bryant, or maybe Terrence Williams. I mean, I'm covering 3 people a lot, but when DeMarco Murray's running for 9 yards, when Brandon Whedon takes his first snap, I'm thinking you got a pretty good team. And then when Romo came back in, I think it kind of lost him the game.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that hit gave him the full-on Ebola, and he's going to be out for the rest of the year, because I'm going to tell you right now, that didn't look good when he was laying there on the ground. It might take 24 to 48 hours to manifest itself before he starts blowing up, i.e. the disease that happened to him last year. If he plays, I don't know. I mean, if he's going to be hurt maybe that is going to be a problem. Arizona on the road, like I said, this is all for me based on what happens with Tony Romo. Right now, I'm going to say he's going to be hurt, so give me Arizona, 2-13.
Nice.
Now it's time for rapid fire. Let's go through all the games.
Start with Thursday night game. New Orleans traveling to Carolina. New Orleans is a 2.5-point favorite on the road.
I mean, they're awful. Carolina's awful. The NFC South does not deserve a playoff spot right now.
Well, no, there's not a team over 500.
No, it's awful. It's terrible. Give me New Orleans on the road because I think somebody's got to step up. If they were in a division like the NFC West, where they used to be, and the lead was so far away, they'd be done.
Correct.
But now it's like they're reborn. They're a half and a quarter game out. Like we talked about it. I have no idea how many games out they are because
they have
Carolina's
the same
had
record
the bye,
except for Carolina has a tie.
But New Orleans had the bye and Carolina hasn't.
Correct.
So what does that equal? Like 0.75 of a game? Like out? Like I don't know how it works, but this game will get New Orleans close or maybe ahead. Like I don't know how it works.
If New Orleans wins this game, they will be leading the division.
Yeah.
However,
I give it to them.
I don't think they're going to because I don't think they play well away from the confines of the Superdome. So give me Carolina with 2.5. San Diego traveling across the country for a 1 o'clock game at Miami. Miami favored by 2.
Maybe I'll go the Oppo-Zappo idea that you did.
Nice.
I feel like San Diego's going to win this game, but I like the traveling across the country idea. Give me Miami to actually win and cover. I hate that because it reeks of a 1-point game.
I'm going to take Miami to cover also. I think Miami is better than most people give them credit for, and I think San Diego is going to start that drop-off just like they do every season. They've lost 2 in a row now. It's going to be 3. Jacksonville traveling to Cincinnati. Cincinnati 11-point favorite at home.
Won't touch a double-digit spread. I don't care. Cincinnati, I picked up their defense. They're bound to give up 30 points to Blake Bortles. Give me Jacksonville to cover, Cincinnati to win. I'll
go opposite you. I think AJ Green comes back this week, and it hasn't been announced that he's coming back. I'm just going on my instincts, and I think Cincinnati covers.
The reason you get shut out.
I think Cincinnati covers by 11. So give me Cincinnati. Tampa Bay traveling to Cleveland. Cleveland is a 6.5-point favorite at home.
My advice to everybody at 2-13 last week is not to touch this game because we don't know who Tampa Bay is. They're 1-6, but they've competed. They've gotten blown out. They came back and won the next week. I can't tell you what they're going to do. Glennon looks good. They got a bunch of guys that I've never heard of. All of a sudden, every week in fantasy football now on ESPN, they got like 3 guys like on the pickup list or some shit like that. Cleveland, Josh Gordon, he comes back this week, right? No, maybe I should drop him again for the 3rd time. Give me Tampa Bay with 6.5. That's fine.
I'm going to take Cleveland to cover the 6.5. And I'm going to give Ben Tate one more chance at scoring some points. He's had 2 spectacularly favorable matchups in the last 2 weeks and hasn't done much. This week, Tampa is giving up the 2nd most fantasy points to running backs on the road. He better have a good week. Washington traveling to Minnesota. Minnesota a 1.5-point favorite.
Why not? Why not Washington? I mean, underdog after beating Dallas last week to a team that is just really, really not good.
They're not good. They beat Tampa.
Yeah, they beat Tampa, but I mean, again, Tampa, we don't know what's showing up. I can't see it. I can't see it. Give me Washington. This will really start stirring the nation's capital into like, oh, here we come. Remember 2 years ago when we won everything? And then it's be like, oh, that's right, it's Colt McCoy.
I'm going to take Washington also. I like the way Colt McCoy looked. 25 of 30. It's pretty solid for $2.99.
Not according to Jake Gruden. Or actually, I can't say Jake Gruden anymore because he's a real person.
Yeah, John Gruden.
John Gruden, yeah, he was trashing them.
Next game, Philadelphia traveling to Houston, and Philly is a 2-point road favorite.
I don't understand the line. I don't understand how they're the favorite. I mean, shouldn't the road at least be a pick'em?
No, they're saying...
It's like a sucker line. I don't like anything about it. I feel like Philadelphia wins by at least 3, but it's almost like they're telling me, take it. So, Oppo-Zappo.
So you
I'll take Houston, yeah. Can't do worse than 2-13.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think there's that many games this week.
I think Philly's going to bounce back after that game to Arizona. I think Nick Foles needs to play better. I discussed this with you earlier. He is in the bottom 3 in a lot of categories in the NFL for quarterbacks.
Not in wins, though.
So I would like to see them get back on track, so I'll pick them to cover the 2. The Jets traveling to Kansas City. Kansas City, a 9.5-point favorite at home.
I will not touch a double-digit spread. Kansas City by 9.5 is fine by me.
I'll take that. Also, the Jets might not score. Arizona, we did that one. St. Louis traveling to San Francisco. San Francisco off their bye, 10-point favorites at home.
I have to touch the 10-point spread here because they're at home off a bye. St. Louis. I mean, I love their quarterback, Austin Davis.
Correct.
I think he's got a lot of heart, and I think he's got no team. Quick was his #1 receiver. He just got the AIDS. Like, I don't know what happened to him. Why is he out for the year? I got a notice on Yahoo. Like,
I didn't even know he was.
Did he get Ebola? Like, why is he out for the year? Like, I gotta cut him. But that's you got running back by committee there. It ain't gonna work. San Francisco's making a poise. San Francisco, Seattle, Thanksgiving Day. That's gonna be a game for something.
I'm also gonna take San Francisco -10, even though I don't like it. It's a little too close.
Yeah,
scares me. Oakland traveling to Seattle. Seattle finally got a win, and now we're 15-point favorites at home against Oakland.
Cursing because I haven't put anything.
We haven't.
We haven't cursed yet.
No.
Wow, this is a boring week. Tails. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's like the perfect line. That's a perfect line. 15. I don't want to touch it at all. Push.
Push.
Push. I'll take a loss if it's not a push, but I want 2 games if it's a push.
Correct. I will give it to you.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'll take Oakland. I'll take Oakland with the 15 points. I'm not giving 15 in the NFL. Pittsburgh hosting Baltimore in a pick'em game.
Baltimore.
Both teams are 5-3.
Baltimore.
Okay.
I got to take Baltimore because it's typical Pittsburgh. I mean, unless they wear the shit from the Eddie Murphy jail movie, they don't play well. Like, how on earth do you come out with these?
The bumblebee from the blind melon
every year? How do you? Oh, blind melon. Oh
it's the
god,
bumblebee
that was
from the blind
disgusting.
melon.
That was a disgusting video. I don't know what it was about that. It freaked me out. I had nightmares about that. But I mean, 586 yards passing, whatever he had, 6 touchdowns. I mean, that's just going to be a letdown week for him. Baltimore's going to come in after losing last week, and they're gonna beat him on a pick'em. It's not going to be a pick'em by the end of the week.
I'm going to take Pittsburgh. I don't know if you remember this, but in our pre-season show, I picked Pittsburgh to win the division.
I don't remember doing New Orleans and Carolina.
So I'm going to take Pittsburgh to win this game and take control of that division. Well, be right up with Cincinnati. Final game of the week, Monday Night Football. Indy traveling to the Giants. Giants are a 3-point home underdog coming off their bye.
Indianapolis defense looked great last week against Pittsburgh. So I think, yeah, I mean, I don't particularly appreciate the home dog on this one. I'm going to take the Giants. And I don't care who wins. I just think the 3 points. They shouldn't be a home dog in this one after last week. I don't think so.
I'm going to take Indianapolis to cover the 3. I think the Giants suck.
Did you pick one thing that I picked?
Yes, we did.
Okay.
Let's move on to fantasy.
Now it's time for our fantasy picks. I made a comeback last week. I had Andrew Luck, who had 30 points.
Yeah, I said Jordy Nelson was going to have a huge week. He had 5.
No, that's not what you said. You said that he would have the most points in fantasy
I did.
out of everybody.
Hey, I did. He did not.
He was not Ben Roethlisberger.
So I'm up 150 to 129. I'm up 21 points.
Yeah.
I'm going to go first, and I'm going to take Ahmad Bradshaw.
There you go. That's a solid one. I don't know why.
Because
last week.
The Giants suck against the running backs at home, and it's going to be a show-me game for Bradshaw. He's going to show the fucking Giants what they gave up.
Okay, I don't agree with that at all, but I'm going to take a home running back to try and close the gap completely with you.
Okay.
Against an awful team, I'm taking Jamal Charles.
Nice, that's a good pick.
Giddy up. Now it's time for comment of the week.
Yeah, we're going to go back to a longtime viewer / commenter, Iceboy1221, who I think is, with this comment, he's summing up how we feel about the NFL this season.
I have to.
This was his comment. This has been one of the most unpredictable seasons in a long time, and I love it. Now, I don't love it, but the fact that we are both like 15 games under 500 picking against the spread.
Well, the fact that I was 11 games under 500 last week to get to 15 games under 500.
I'm just glad somebody else recognizes how hard this job is this year, trying to pick every single game against the spread. So thank you, Ice Boy, 1221.
Any job you don't get paid for that you suck at is hard. So that's our show for week 9. It has to be better for me than week 8. I mean, it's just
it can't be much worse.
Awful.
I'm very sad because half the football season is gone. I've taken my cake, I've eaten half of it, I've drank my beer, half of it's gone. I like a full beer. I like the fulfilling knowing that this is full.
If it was always full, it'd always be week 1.
But that would be awesome. I'd have 17 weeks to look forward to.
It's the end that makes it so good.
I
and
guess.
then the next week, NASCAR.
Oh.
Daytona 500. Start out with the Super Bowl the week after the Super Bowl.
Nice.